Hey guys, this is Axel. Welcome to ATech Reviews. Today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Tanchjim Luna, a newly released dongle, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it, and I'm going to do a quick comparison between this dongle and several other dongles which are laid out on the table in front of you. On this channel I haven't been reviewing a lot of dongles, mainly because like in the last 2 years, if you've bought any dongle at any budget, chances are it's probably going to sound awesome. It's going to have great sound quality, great specs, low output impedance, good amount of power, and the main differentiating factors usually are small changes in the sound and like features like EQ or like a display screen and mainly output power. That's probably it. And of course, aesthetics and design. Today I will do that and give you a quick idea about how this one compares to many of these dongles, specifically the Moonriver 2 Ti. So let's begin. What comes in the box? You have this quick guide that comes with it, and you get this type of like Asanotanch stickers, I guess. You have like a whole page of stickers, which you can see. And that's probably it. You get this like anime girl design. So that's it. This is the box, by the way, that comes with it. And then you get this very nice USB-C to Type-C cable. Short, looks durable. Very nice. And you get this Type-C to Type-A connector. And this is the dongle itself. Again, this is the Asanotanch version. It is not a fingerprint magnet, something I appreciate so much. And here it how it looks on a close-up. And this is the design, the Asanotanch design. I don't know what is Asanotanch, like is it like Tanch like Tanchjim? I'm not sure. Anyway, if you're into that anime style, there you go. It looks cool. It's not, you know, prone to being scratched and so on. In terms of specs and inputs and outputs, it has one USB-C input, as you can see, and it has 3.5 and 4.4 outputs. One of them is single-ended, the other is balanced. Output impedance is 0.2 according to the quick guide, and it has power amount of 125 on the single-ended at 32 ohms and 240 milliwatts on the balanced output at 32 ohms as well. It has low gain, high gain, it has Class AB mode, and it has Class H mode. It has 60 volume levels. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There is no display, but there is an app that allows you to control all the functions. I will add a few screenshots of the app as well. And when I used it, like, I have no issues with it. Like, it connected fine to my PC, to my phones. No driver needed, no disconnections, no hiss issues, no noise, no nothing. It didn't even get warm. Slightly warm, but much lower than many of the other dongles here. And that's it. Let me start by describing the sound. How does it sound? Well, first of all, it sounded linear. That's the sound signature of this dongle. It's a neutral sound. It's not warm and it's not cold or analytical as well. It walks that thin line between sounding musical and analytical, but it stays within the realm of neutral, which I appreciate. It's an uncolored sound signature, so it's going to reveal your music to you. That said, it could be fun as well depending on your music. For me, it sounded dynamic with a lot of music I'm using, like, for example, classical music or EDM music and so on. It has no background noise at all. Very, very, very resolving dongle. It has a lot of details, and it focuses more on the micro details. It focuses more on those nuances in your music. Good bass performance, transparent mid-range, and clean, smooth, detailed treble. I have no issues with it. In the app, there's an option to change the volume from the app, and there's an option to change the filters, which create a very small amount of change, for me at least. And there is an option to see the sample rate, and an option to change between Class AB and Class H. And for me, there is no difference in the sound. I tried. There's no difference in the sound. The manual states Class H will give you a longer battery life. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that. For me, I have no difference. I heard no difference between Class H and Class AB. And there's even an option to like adjust the channel balance from left to right. if someone needs that function. Anyway, so about imaging, has very accurate imaging, pinpoint accuracy. Soundstage is wide. There is a good amount of width, slightly below the Moonriver 2 Ti in my opinion. And about the depth, it's not as deep, but the amount of detail is very, very impressive. And that's pretty much it. It's quiet, no noise with any IM I'm using. And about the power, I want to mention also that part. I used it with a lot of IMs and even headphones. It delivers a lot. Like, it can get loud more than I need with any IM, including the hard to drive binary Dyna Quattro, which is awesome. With like planar magnetic headphones like Sundara and Edition XX and Ananda, it has a lot of power. But I noticed these headphones kind of improve in dynamics and openness and detail and soundstage when I connect them to desktop setups. 6XX, yeah, it kind of can drive it, but I felt like it can use much more power to sound its best. It has 2 VRMS, by the way, on low gain and 4 VRMS on high gain. Anyway, all these functions, you can control them from the Tanchjim app, which you can find from the official website like tanchjim.com. It's available for iOS and Android, and it's very fast and snappy, which is awesome. Now I will begin the comparison segment to kind of highlight the differences between these DACs and amps. And I will start with this one. This is the Moonriver 2 Ti, a great dongle, resolving dongle, neutral dongle. Looks great, performs great. And here are the differences. First of all, the build. It's titanium, so it has some, it's prone to getting scratched. And it's a fingerprint magnet as well, but you cannot find that here. Something that, honestly surprised me is how similar they are in terms of size and in terms of design, in terms of specs. It's very similar. A few differences like where the volume button is and, stuff like that, but they are very similar. In terms of weight, the Moonriver 2 Ti, long name, is going to be heavier, so potentially it could pull on the phone a bit. Like when I use it, I usually carry it in my hand because it kind of goes with gravity, has a pulling effect on the USB-C connector. The Tanchjim Luna is lighter, very light, so it doesn't have that effect, which is awesome in my book. Another thing is the Moonriver 2 Ti has 100 volume steps. The Tanchjim Luna has 60, and they follow what they call a volume curve. Like, I had to press 30 presses to reach 50% volume, and you can control it from the phone and stuff. The Moonriver 2 Ti also has an app, allows you to change the filter, allows you to change high and gain mode. But the thing is, it has this light, which in high gain cannot be turned off. Like, there's an option to turn it off. In high gain, it stays high, in my opinion. Anyway, these are small things. And in terms of power, the Moondrop pictures on the official website say it's 250, so similar, but the specs say 280. I'm not sure which one is more accurate. Now let's get to the real question here. What are the differences in the sound? To me, comparing them volume matched right after each other, A-Bing them, I have to tell you guys, I have I tried very hard, but other than the small soundstage difference that I have to give to the Moonriver 2 Ti, it sounds slightly wider. Other than that, I can detect no difference, like my ears cannot. I can detect a difference between the Tanchjim Luna and all the dongles on the table in front of you. Right after, next to each other, I can detect a small difference, and I will describe it. But between it and the Moonriver 2 Ti, nothing. Really nothing. Again, almost only the soundstage difference. It sounds a bit wider, on the Moonriver 2 Ti. And again, it's a small difference that just could be me. I'm not sure that much. When I reach a level that I cannot really know the difference, to me, they sound very similar. And I will just leave it at that. And that makes this one very impressive. And after checking the specs of both dongles, I'm not surprised, actually. The specs are just almost exactly the same, from output power to cyanide level to total harmonic distortion plus noise. Even the dynamic range was single-ended and balanced. They use the same DAC chip, dual 43198 by Cirrus Logic. And that's it. So this is the first comparison. The second comparison, quickly, the awful snowy night. 300 milliwatts, 32 ohms, very powerful. I will just make it short and say the Awful Snowy Night sounds warmer to me, and it's not as detailed or as resolving as the Tanchjim Luna. These differences come apparent when you compare them side by side. The Snowy Night, again, is a very good sounding one, kind of organic and warm sounding, but when I use the Luna sounds more resolving in comparison. Third comparison here will be the Belon V1. And now this is a new dongle, newly released, one that I respect a lot actually. It's a budget one. You kind of think of it like as an alternative to the Moondrop Dawn Pro 4.4. It has this cool design, which is the cool transparent glass cover. And you get this lanyard here. And it's very well built, very lightweight. And it has these tactile buttons which work great. The benefit here, an advantage, is that it has this play and pause button. So if you're talking to someone and you want to like stop it, you kind of have that. Now, in terms of the sound, the Belon is a bit less detailed. There is some difference noticeable to my ears, and it has much less power. They don't state on the box how much, but I kind of could max it out on the binary Dynaquattro, but with most other IMs, you can probably say it will be fine. And for the price, I think it's a great value. It's really a great value, has a specific design, has like a play and pause button, so it has features. For the price, I think it's a bargain, and it's one of my recommended dongles right now. Let's start with the Roselsa. Now, the Roselsa is using an ESS, a 9039 DAC chip. It's a good dongle, actually. The main difference is here is you will notice the Roselsa sounds warmer in comparison. It's not as detailed as the Luna. And another thing is it has no volume rocker buttons, so you kind of have to use the button on your phone. Another thing also is the output power. They state it can reach 300 milliwatts, but when I tested with the binary Dynaquattro, I could max out the volume, and there will be, at the max, there will be some audible distortion. This only happened with the Dynaquattro, so to be fair, this only happened with that hard-to-drive IM. With every other IM, there was no problem. The sound is great, detailed, slightly warm, less detailed than the Tanchjim Luna. And there is this light that comes from here that you cannot turn off, so keep that in mind. Also, no option to change gain and so on. Now, let's move on to the Dunu DTC 480, I think it's called. So, this is the design. It kind of looks cute. It is small. It is, you know, kind of chunky a bit, but it's very small. So, what are the differences? The Dunu sounds way smoother than the Luna, and it's not even close to the level of resolution and detail that the Luna offers. The Luna has more detail, more separation. Like, I kind of like this one, but when I listened in after the Luna, it kind of sounded warm to me. It kind of sounded not as detailed, and I kind of prefer the Luna a lot, actually. And even the power level, it's much less than the Luna. And like Dunu now has like the DTC 800, which is a much better dongle in my opinion. So that's just my opinion about it. Let's talk about the E1 though. This is the 9039. I probably gotten every dongle from this designer. I kind of respect Ivan a lot. He's a great engineer, great designer. I have to be honest, since I got this one, I have never used it except a few times. Why is that? Well, a few years ago, this would have been like awesome. But due to the 2.5 millimeter, which I don't have anymore, I have only one cable that has that. And even the single-ended version only supports single-ended. Again, most dongles nowadays can be competitive like the Luna, can be as detailed, and can even offer same level of power or even more. And they even have app for free, and they even have like 4.4 and 3.5. It kind of like the other dongles became much more attractive to me, but I will tell you the differences in the sound. The E1 sounds way more like clinical or analytical. It's kind of like detailed and way more resolving. It's the most resolving, to be honest, out of all of them. Another thing is that it sounds a bit cleaner at max power. Like when you turn on the volume to the max, it still like has that clean bass, clean detail, and so on. So that could be an advantage. Yeah, it's a great dongle. I have no complaints. It gets slightly warm, but nothing to worry about. And there's a Discord server where the designer like kind of helps you out with anything you need and so on. Pretty responsive. So there you go. The last one I will be comparing it to is this one. This is the Muse M4. I know it's a Bluetooth one, but I kind of wanted to include it in the comparison because it's such a multifunctional device. And it can be used with the USB from this one, and you can charge it with the other one. It has like 3 outputs. It even has the 2.5, you know, and it has this design. The thing about it is it can be a fingerprint magnet, and the sound is not as detailed as the Luna. Now, again, the Luna is very resolving. It's probably the most resolving on the table after the Iwanda, and it is on the same level as the Moon River 2 Ti, which is a big statement. This one, I would honestly just buy it if you need the Bluetooth and you need the capabilities it offers, like the design, the gain level, and so on, the NFC. It's like a multifunctional device. Skip button. It has a lot of stuff. For me, I kind of prefer the Luna. It's more resolving. I kind of like that. It sounds more dynamic, more transparent. And that's it. That has been my review of the Tanchjim Luna. If you have any question, guys, let me know down in the comments section. If you want any comparisons, I will let you know if I have it. And until then, see you in the next one. Bye.